find your shine, man, in a world where people are abusive. We're going to talk about abusive cycles this morning, about narcissistic tendencies, how we become so selfish that all we care about is the way that we see and less about the way we treat people, and how important it is to follow the golden rule, because the golden rules applies to everybody, and that includes me. And it's all about how you treat other people. So, one of these things that we do in life is we have to reflect on how we reflect to other people. And it's unfortunate but true. There's a lot of trauma, drama, and abuse that's gone out there. And today we're going to talk about how to stop it. Saints Addiction, we out here. I grew up abused. Bro, what in the fuck makes you think you can interrupt my show right now? All inebriated, called me, my bestie, and was all drunk, had somebody screaming in the background trying to get in my conversation about my personal life. And now I'm trying to have a personal moment. You probably have experienced it. You don't want to admit it, but you probably experienced it somewhere in your life. Someone was abusive towards you, whether it's big old trucks, whether it's construction noises, whether it's actual physical violence upon you from a loved one. It's happened to me my whole life, and unfortunately I've seen it time and time again in myself and in other people, and unfortunately the cycle has to stop. One of the biggest key components for the cycle was the anger. The anger could be resentment, it could be sadness, it could be violence, it could be a lot of things that you just don't see. There's a lot of different emotions in anger. It's not just one thing. It's just I'm angry. You could be sad about something, you could be disappointed about something. A lot of different triggers to make you angry, but not all of us react to our anger the same way. I mean, there's people that can really lose their cool in public, behind closed doors. We all like to think, oh, that's a great mom, and then she's hitting her kids with the spatula at dinner. There's always been the chicleta, the sandal that comes off to smack some kid. Kids are fucking annoying. Let's just keep it real. Especially we're talking about childhood issues and stuff like that. It's hard to keep a kid in line, especially if a kid's being very ornery and acting special, right? Mm-hmm. We've all been there when we're trying to, I don't know, babysit a child, or maybe we have our children of our own and they act absolutely atrocious, and you just want to lock them in the basement and spank them repeatedly, right? Like there's just almost like no answer but physical violence to stop a child from being a complete torturer. And that's what it is. It's like these kids are tortured inside and out, possibly already beaten. Their reaction speed is coming out differently. We all do it. We've all been there where if you didn't feel secure in your life, you'll react a certain way. And that's what we do. You know, it hurt people, bro. It's not a rocket science moment here, but it's the truth of it is that you're hurt inside. You're going to try to hurt other people. And if you're healed, you're going to try to heal people. And unfortunately, I'm surrounded by a person that isn't healed very much and is full with drama. And if I don't fix her drama, I don't become the white shining knight, and I'm just supposed to fall down from earth and fix all her problems just like that, just make it right. And that's why they call it Captain Save a Hoe. You can't save a hoe from her drama, her mind, her reality. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Hoes don't act right, bro. And unfortunately, to get some act right, to stop yelling at people, stop abusing people, start thanking people, stop being a manipulator, stop trying to gaslight me, stop trying to post things to me and tell me that I'm the one, when I have no problem with my accountability. I have no problem going back 3 years and showing you about my narcissisms and how I didn't put my child's life before my life. I was so selfish that all I could see was what I wanted. You know what I mean? What I thought I deserved and how I felt. And if I felt offended, then I had no problem offending you, right? I had no problem fighting some of my customers in my own shop. My buddy's like, Mark, you get all the customers, but you scare them all away. it was constructive criticism like that that could let it in. Now, here's coming from my buddy who gets in fights with people also in his shop and is also race, or not also, I'm not racist, but pulls racist shit and tends to get in fights with black people a lot in his shop, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just calling it what it is. You know what I mean? He's a closet case racist, closet case jealous. You know what I mean? If we were always jockeying for position, he would always self sabotage my shit so he can make sure he got out ahead, or make do my job last, or make it late, or try to stop my shine, try to stop me from growing. And this is what we see in narcissistic people, or hurt people, or people that aren't healed. They're not trying to make you move forward. Right? They're not going to give you the keys to the kingdom and go, here, you should do better now. No, because just like my friend said, the Scorpio from Brazil, she's like, I don't want to hurt alone, Mark. So as soon as we're angry, as soon as we're hurt, as soon as we have fear inside of ourselves, we start to punish ourselves and others around us. And it's not a very productive system. And I need to bless up this morning marijuana motivation. Yeah, it sucks, bro. It sucks to be tied to a narcissist. I was trying to get rid of her 3 different ways from Sunday. I cheated on her. I started seeing someone else. I stopped calling her, stopped telling her I loved her, and let her roll her out, leave for the third, fourth, fifth time. And her friends are going to watch this and they're not going to want to acknowledge this, and she's mad that I'm calling her out on her bullshit because it's bullshit. And the show really should stop being about her. That's the part of narcissistic supply, is you want the attention, you want people to pay attention to your drama. Why else are you starting a fire if no one else sees it? It's like, why else wear a bikini on an empty fucking beach? And they all say I talk too much about women, but I'm a man. I'm a heterosexual man. I'm not a homosexual man. I'm not talking about other men. This is what attracts me. And women can talk about men because that's what attracts them. Bees can talk about flowers because that's what attracts them. I'm sure they only talk about flowers, right? Because they're attracted to flowers. I'm not attracted to beer, so therefore I'm not bringing up beer. I'm not attracted to drugs. I do talk about openly, honestly about my drug addictions, but this show was supposed to be about making shirts, and I'm always in the jungle talking about my personal life without even making a shirt. Made a shirt the other day, but I didn't go live doing it. I like to talk about real life subjects, man. There's a real life out there where I was really abused as a kid. It's not fun to be swung on by someone that loves you. It's not fun to be intimidated by someone. It's not fun to be a bully either. I've been on both sides where I was a bully to my siblings. I can be quite the bully in relationships where I don't let you come in here, or I don't want to hear your shit in my head, and I'm not trying to hear all that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that cyclical effect that people do where they go from being really abusive to you, instead of thanking you or being apologetic, or seeing error in their ways, they double down on stupidity, they double down on their anger, and they become even more abusive. And this is why it's an abusive cycle, because they'll try to outbuy you with things, right? Let me take you to Disneyland. Let me take you to Jamaica. Jamaica's not worth anything if my grandpa's going to beat my grandma at Jamaica and bloody her up. That's right. Abuse was in my family, and you could get touched. You could get touched up, man, woman, or child. You could get touched up, and it's unfortunate that people would get so angry that they would hurt the ones that they love, and that they would instill fear in the people around them. And this is the reason I still don't have a relationship with my own father. This is the reason why grandpa's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of abuse out there that people dread and don't want to talk about because life is so fucking hard. And then you come home, and then your home life isn't easy, and then that spirals into them. Maybe you take your work out on your family, or you disavow your family and stop spending so much time with them and isolating the he shed, and then she shed it up, and then try to push the world away. Maybe get on some Valiums, maybe get on some antidepressants and figure it out. A lot of people that need to figure it out. And you can't figure it out for them. They're going to pretend to be suicidal. They're going to pretend that you're the narcissist. They're going to pretend that all their problems are yours. But remind yourself that these people had these problems before you even found them, right? These are deep-seated issues. These are programming that we've had way before anyone met. So it's like someone was telling me, and the psychologist was, if you've been repeating something to yourself for 10,000 times, seeing me in a session for 10 times isn't going to be the solution. It's been compounded and pressurized, almost like oil, taking organic substances from the air, or from the earth, and making it into oil under pressure underground, turning it into black gunk. That's what this is. This is the black gunk of our minds. We've turned it into black gunk. And over years of pressure and building it up and pushing it down and living in that subconscious world that he said, you're only seeing a bit of this iceberg. There's a whole underneath of you of the way your parents talk to you, or the way you react to negative stimulus, or your attitude under pressure. Like, these things are all us as human beings across the board, and it's just like, it's a real test. Because you can see people as normal. Oh, he looked like a normal person, and then they go into a train and they're very frustrated, or they don't know how to pick up after themselves, or they're very self-destructive, like they're already drinking 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck is going on? The lack of accountability, the lack of self-control, the lack of awareness is shocking. Because we'll get so inside of our head, right? We'll get pissed enough to miss the bus, but you're the only one that's going to miss the bus. Everybody else has got shit to do. And it isn't dealing with you. Bigger fish to fry, better things to do with our time. We realize that the bullies are the ones that used to be bullied, right? We realize that they're usually insecure, right? We realize that abusers hide behind this air of superiority, right? I felt superior. I'm like, I'm stronger than you. I do more push-ups than you. I'm more successful than you. Therefore, I can treat you like shit. I was a VIP host in the nightclubs of Las Vegas, and it turned me into an asshole. I was a superiority complex. You don't know because you never got no power, but trust and believe. Put yourself in the power situation. They did it in 1976. It's like, okay, randomly you're the inmate, and randomly you're the officer, and the officer started beating on the inmates the first day. Now, I would say these people were abusive. I'm just telling you, superiority complex exists. You can be a nice person, put a badge on somebody, and next thing you know, they're arresting people that shouldn't be arrested. We have great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, and we don't acknowledge our powers in ourselves, that we can be so annoyed that we take it out on our children. I remember the one chick was yelling at her kid because he was 3 years old that he wasn't taking her OnlyFans photos properly. Now, mind you, her legs are all the way spread out and she's all sexing it up, and this is her child, and she's yelling at him. Or how about the kid that fell and the mom picked up the she was going past her, tried to slow her down. She fell, picked her up, and started yelling at her as if she wasn't in enough pain. Have you seen this before? Have you seen people that spread pain and spread misinformation or misknowledge just so they can keep their position? I'll lose my position here in front of you. I've been abused as a kid, and I was abusive to my siblings. It's not cool. It's not cool to talk to people any which way. It's not cool that I told you how I felt and then I felt powerful. And then it's like, okay, now they don't want to come near you. Now you've isolated yourself. Now you made things infinitely worse. Nobody's going to gift you anything anymore. You kissed a gift horse in the mouth, and now people are going to kick the horse off the farm. Nobody's looking to be bucked off. Nobody wants to deal with that kind of stress because we know how hard it is to keep peace. We know how hard it is to find happiness. Shit is how hard enough to find money. And it'll never be enough, right? It'll never be enough. All of us will always have to struggle. All of us will always have to endure. All of us will have to understand things that don't seem to make sense to us, like, why did I lose my business, or why did I lose my child, or why are you going to have to experience loss in life in general? Someone will die. My grandma, my mom, my dad, like my siblings, like, this all blows, bro. But we also enjoy the part of the process in the between times, that we were all alive together to enjoy Christmas together, or that I even have parents or grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello. So it comes down to that apple again. You enjoyed every bite till you got to the middle, but then you saw a worm. Does the other bites not make it delicious? right? Is it okay for you to lose your temper and take it out on other people? Is it okay to spread misinformation and try to spin it your own way and give yourself your own memes that make you reinforce yourself, or make you believe that you're superior than others, or that you're in the right, always in the right? Can't say that you're in the wrong, because that would admit defeat. That would admit your ego was wrong, and that your narcissism is real, and that you can look bad. Like, yeah, that was me, bro. That was me grabbing on my pregnant fucking girlfriend, 5 months of pregnancy, and I didn't even think of my own child's safety. That was me, bro. I was so incensed. I was so angry. Get the fuck out of the car. How dare you leave me in the park? It's all about me and my ego and how narcissistic I am, the way you're making me feel. I'm the one that flew all the way from Brazil. I'm the one that's out here with you. What the fuck? And then I'm like this to her. I'm flexed on her. I'm angry at her. I'm shaking with rage. And no wonder why she didn't want to get out of the car. I don't blame her. Get out of the car and go into the hands of a crazy man. Someone that looks like they're losing their self control. Someone that looks at you like you're not even a loved one anymore. Someone that looks like they could hurt you. And I'm telling on myself, this is the worst feeling. That I didn't make her feel safe. That I looked like I might hit her. That it was even a possibility. And that's the cycles of abuse. My father would do the same thing. He would flinch. He'd go up, touch his hair real fast, and you'd be like, he thought it was funny. That's how fucking psycho he is. And he still don't talk to me, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'll be the black sheep of the group if it keeps me away from abusive cycles, and that I don't abuse my children, and I stop being a bully with my siblings and teammates and in life. I had tough times. I would get frustrated. I would talk to people nicely. I would have a certain tone. They would tell me it was a tone. I'd have a certain directness. And then I'd be on the train, and then it'd be like 3 hours of going back to LA, or coming back from LA to Vegas, and then I'm just all about and then you did, and I'm not done with it yet in my head, and you're in the car with me now, so you have to suffer with me. I don't want to hurt alone mentality. And I'm calling myself out on this because my narcissist would love for me to just make it all about her and how she's physically hit me. And they could say, oh, well, you slept with someone else. It's like, no excuse, right? Crime's a passion. You could have been fucking someone else. Does that mean I get to shoot you? You know, like, we got to be responsible for our own hands, and not hit others. You know what I mean? Like, treat others like you want to be treated. You don't want to be hit either. You wouldn't want to be left in the middle of the day just, hey, I'm going off with someone else of the opposite sex with no explanation, no I love you, and no time limit. You know, you wouldn't like that very much. And the truth is I have been getting abused, and I try to get away from this person. I try to sleep with someone else. I try to block. I've tried to not chase after. I just like, go in your own direction, bro. You don't like my brand of tea, then go buy Coca-Cola, right? Like, if I'm not the one, then it's got to be someone else. And now, trust and believe, this narcissistic supply needs me to be engaged with her, needs someone to share her memes with, needs someone to feel her pain, because that's narcissistic supply. That's part of the abuse. It's hard. I mean, some people abuse their cats or dogs because they can't run and they can't reenact everything. But it's one of those things that abuse is hidden in dark corners, right? They're hidden in frustrations. They're hidden amongst us. It could be the simple thing, like I said, where the girl fell and her parents started yelling at her for falling on the ground. What? Or yelling at them for not taking the right photo. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a tough one for me to see how people treat their children, or how I've been treated, or how I've treated others. It's a motherfucker. I have not always been a saint. Saint's addiction up front. I used to get in a lot of physical fights because of anger and not being able to control it because of alcohol. And alcohol would just let that filter come off. So all of a sudden I stopped becoming reasonable. I think we all have a certain amount of reason within us. We keep it in check because we don't want to go to jail. Our freedom means more to us than your safety. So I'll take my freedom more than your safety. Because the time I don't care about my freedom and I'm willing to go to jail, there's the time that your safety means less and less to me, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's scary to say too, that I've been dangerous around other people, or that I get blacked out and I get into fights and wrestling somebody by the fucking fire, and that's what you get for day drinking. Wrestling somebody by fire that I didn't know and biting their finger really bad. It went into my mouth, so I bit down. Blacked out, drunk, whiskey. I'm not sure what it was. I don't even remember. You know what I mean? Like, all I know is the person that was sitting there, I didn't know. And what I do know is before we started drinking, I thought that that person was really nice and really cool. Why did I end up fighting him? I'll never know. I ended up losing all my friends, the guys that were at the river, because it was a river rafting party. And I had been doing a lot of fitness and not drinking, so it hit me really hard. So I can't put as much excuses as I want that, oh, I hadn't been drinking very long, or it hit me very hard, like I just said, right? Just excuses, making excuses, and why I'm not a massive success. Success is what happens to you, what comes after you stop making excuses. Success is what comes after you stop making excuses, right? Um, I shouldn't have been at that party, bro. I was just bored, and I shouldn't have been drinking. And this poor person I don't even know randomly got put in a headlock by a random nice fire and shit, and his finger bitten because somebody got drunk, and that somebody is me. And this is maybe 10 years ago, but I still remember, and it's still embarrassing, and it sucks. Not to say this shit on live. The other person would love for me to just keep the live all about her and just go on and on and on about narcissism and how you can be intertwined with it. Like, you constantly always think that you can fix it, or that you can fix them, or that if you do what they ask. I mean, the whole laundry list of you ask, could it be a mosquito net, could be fresh orange juice, could be sheets, it could be brand new sheets, could be scrubbing the toilet. It would never be enough. They always have you running around chasing your head and your tail. You know, they're always making you feel less than, like you're never enough, and you never get thanked. You never get an apology. This is my parents. This is my relationships. This is me sometimes. Like, fucking shit, bro. This is bad. And we're in a world where everybody's becoming more and more narcissistic. They only have their own channel, and they only want you to follow it, not follow back. Like, I follow everybody back. I'm maxed out 7,500 follows. Like, everybody's like, you shouldn't do that. That looks like imbalance. I'm like, well, unfollow the robot accounts, but like, other than that, bro, if you show me love, I show you love. And some people, they ain't like that. They don't want to show any love. They want to unfriend love. They would let you send a friend request but not accept, or watch you burn instead of go get water, or or talk shit about you instead of give you a lending hand. There's so many people out there like that. And shout out to my boy Nick, lending hand. Shout out to my boy Mark, lending hand. You know, one came back to bit me, one came back to help me. And that's just it. You know, are you here to help, or are you here to hinder? It's a real question. You got to ask yourself. You got to look within yourself and go, am I here helping, or am I here hindering? And sometimes, like, my brand of tea, my directness, my foot up your ass, my morning motivation, my motivation is too much for some people. They're not ready to get real with themselves. They're not ready to see that they're day drinking at 10 a.m. They're not ready to hear that they're not working hard enough. You know, they're not ready to hear that they're going to have to actually change their behavior to get a changed response. And some of us just like to live in our delusions, man. We'll read more tarot cards, we'll watch more memes, we'll watch more videos and just reinforce our beliefs. But I knew I was in an echo chamber, bro. I'm not slow. I knew that these red pill guys had some money, muscle, game, and frame, right? You know, girls do want high value men. They want guys that have some kind of positioning, that do have the balls to approach them and do have the balls to follow through and fuck them. That's a challenge all in its own. A third of these men aren't even getting fucking laid, bro. And a third of them might be abusive. Why are you running for the crazy man, the dangerous one, the bad boy? Well, because none of the other men are gonna fuck with him. He's that dangerous. So if I'm in his hands, nobody else is going to fuck with me. Weird, right? Evolutionary psychology. And we do these things in our head. Yup. Where we'll get with a big guy because we're a small girl and feel safe in his arms. Why are you with them? It's not because he likes the same politics. It's not because he likes the same football team. It's because you feel safe with him. And why don't I have my child? Is because she didn't feel safe with me. And why is my other child in threat right now? Because she's not safe. And if they're not safe in the mind, if they can't keep mentally safe, if they can't stay positive or ask you how you're doing, or be gentle, or recognize that even if you are cramped out, stressed out, freaking out, it's not okay to treat people any which way. And that's the lesson I learned from my child's death is I can't just talk to anybody any which way, no matter how frustrated I get and how I pour my excuses, 20 list to 20 things of why I'm frustrated when I only needed to say I'm sorry once. Has anybody been through that? I said I was sorry. That's not a sorry. Just I'm sorry. Humility's hard to come by, bro. I'm losing my shit. I'm not breathing right. I'm running out of money. I can't focus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm melting in front of you. I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to bring this to your doorstep. This is not what I wanted. This is not how it is. Versus the other people that are entitled that'll drink beer on your porch, leave the beer bottles in front of your porch, and not say thank you. We have those abusers. They're hurt inside. She's trying to kill the hurt inside, so she's day drinking. Okay. Keep day drinking. That'll be successful. Keep gaining that weight. Keep getting depressed. Keep getting in the cycle of abuse. It's also in addiction, too. Welcome to it. Welcome to the cycle of abuse where you abuse yourself too, where you get right back into because you hurt inside. Now you need something to make the hurt stop, and you've only found this one thing. Usually it's beer, usually it's weed, usually it's sex, usually it's the usual. And even though it's bad for you and it's bad for other people, you do it again and again because you can't get off the sauce. There's not enough sex in the world, you can't fuck it out. There's not enough chocolate in the world, you can't eat it out. Be nice if you could eat it out, but yeah, you know, these things are our truth. We hold them to be self-evidence that all of us are not created equal. We might not be equal on this planet. We might not have the same amount of money. We might not have the same attitude. We might not have the same approach. There's so many different people out here, and trust and believe going through the struggle, and the struggle makes us struggle, and then we feel struggle, we feel the pains of not having work or not having money or not having love or not feeling right, and then all of a sudden we go to get right, and you might get wrong. You know what I'm saying? You might go after that alcohol again. And how many bottles, how many days, how many months, how many years of depression and destruction go further? And that's really up to us. And that's the question that has to be asked this morning. Motivation is just you know, I'm talking about breaking vicious cycles here, right? I don't want to be a part of an abusive relationship. I refuse. I don't want to be in the storm of narcissistic behavior or anything that encourages me to do that. I am looking for peace. I have to create that peace in myself, and I think I found it. I think I found my happy spot. I found my happy place. I found my happiness inside. My mind, body, and soul starting to talk to each other again. I'm starting to love my life. It's really hard to do and really confusing. And I'm trying to enjoy it where people around me want to complain or bitch and moan and all these things. Yeah, fuck all that shit, bro. That's how you want to live your life. If your mornings are fuck yous and beers and destruction, nowhere near you because I've been through that so long, so many times ago, bro. I did that already. Been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt, waking up mornings not feeling like myself, or having to recover from whatever intoxication or drug or just recover. My friend was sitting here. She was like, "You were really addicted to cocaine, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, yes, I was. I'm like, only an 8 ball every weekend. Only an 8 ball. I've never done this one snort." And it just sounded so bad, and I kind of giggled at myself, and like I really should stop giggling. It's a miracle that I even got sober, and that the copious amount of drugs that I've taken just to make myself feel right. And now I'm sitting here going like, okay, I'm at my center now. I don't have to jump into fights and make them worse. I don't have to spill gasoline on fires. I don't have to be my own worst enemy. And that's how you break the cycle. That's your morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, like, share, and subscribe below. It's your boy Saint's Addiction, Marky Saint, on my heart from the start. You already know what time it is. And it's time for that peace and love, time for that cheekathon, and time for you to be on the other side of your fear, be on the other side of the world, be on the other side of your excuses. Just see what happens. You got nothing else to lose. You're already doing the same shit, different toilet. Just time to fucking give it an opportunity, break the cycle. You don't have to be a part of it. Peace.